I feel guilty today because the day was so sunshiny, and it's as if it was going like, "Hi, friend. I know like the last couple of days have been a bit winter, but I forgot to get all the winter in, so I've really been trying to get them out of the way now. Here's loads of sunshine." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine, but Dark Souls draws curtains."
Dark Souls.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Since last time, we visited a couple of new places, haven't we?
We have indeed. And I went on a secret mission.
Secret mission. Well, firstly, let's cover the depths.
Yes, indeed.
Which is a hard word to say if you're just trying to say it.
I think it's a really fantastic level, and one thing that's become apparent recently, the more I've kind of messed about with it with different playthroughs, is although it seems very twisty turny and very very confusing in many ways because it's tight little alleyways and
corridors and blind.
You can actually, even if you've not unlocked the door to get down to the boss fight, which you can wander through the levels and eventually do that, so it makes it easier if you do come back. I realised the other day that you can actually get to the boss independent of that within about a minute.
That's not bad.
If you where the butcher was, the entrance from there, if you drop down and tackle the massive rat, run sort of straight on from there, drop down the sort of water that's flowing on the left hand side. It takes you down to where they you unlock the shortcut anyway.
Ah, that's true.
So it's another one of those fantastic sort of risk and reward things where there's so much that's there. It just wants you to notice them. It's not flagging them up, and it's a sort of I can imagine it's a very tough level for newcomers anyway, with those creatures with the massive eyes.
Oh God!
For the football fans amongst you, the ones that look like Sproinky Jellerod Houliers, with the spitting the gas, and you can get cursed and stuff.
Disgusting curse frogs.
But in that level, it's the first sort of thing I think where the game starts to give you more of a hand. I know some folks sort of say the Drake sword is one of those, that it pretty much gives it to the player that's an experience and lets them feel more powerful. But that's the level where it gives you the Ring of the Evil Eye, which changes a huge amount, because rather than having to turn to your Estus, you can, because the Ring of the Evil Eye gives you a little bit of energy back for every enemy that you kill. You can kind of look at your health bar and go, I mean, if I kill about 6 enemies, I'll be back up to full health. So it sort of encourages you to push on through the level and maybe into places that you haven't gone, just to take on enemies, which is very cool, because you're building up more experience with you fighting and a bit more souls as well. But there's also that fantastic momentum that you feel like nothing is a lost cause.
Yeah, it feels like aggressive progression rather than running back and trying again and running back and trying again and running back and trying again. It's like, right, I'm going to push forward.
So what were your impressions of going down into there and things
depths?
Like
I liked. Let me just clear my throat. I liked finding the Pyromancer. Mm-hmm. He's made my life much easier, but we'll get to him later. I like that it's very twisty turny, but it kind of isn't. But you can kind of see through to other bits as you go through.
You like with the first time you see the giant,
and you like the first time you see the giant rat, and you're like, holy crap, have we got to fight that later? And if you kind of follow the kind of what I'd call the normal way through it, you don't really meet the giant rat, do you? But I mean, like when we were getting further through the level, and there's like a little hole that we had to jump over, and we both cocked it up.
Yeah, to let folks know, we did bro up this.
Yeah, this was bro up.
It wasn't independent.
Yeah, and there's a little kind of hole through one of the tunnels we were both going through, and you ran forward and went, oh bollocks, and fell through. And I thought, right, I'll jump over it. And I went, oh, bollocks, and I fell through as well. And that's where we met the frogs, which were horrifying. Really,
Did they really freak you out?
Sorry?
Did they really freak you out?
They did, because I wasn't ready for them. I was expecting rats and whelps and stuff. And these kind of bug-eye frog things that kind of spit curse juice all over the floor. And it's only when I looked up and noticed my health bar ticking down. It's like, holy shite, ran.
There was something really, really interesting that I noted the other day on, because Epic Name Bro's doing a new playthrough where he's doing he's doing two separate builds now. He's doing a heavy weapon build to see which is the best heavy weapon.
Yeah.
He's doing a quality build, and a quality build is one of those where weapons scale on strength and dexterity.
Yeah.
And he was saying that that the reason that the reason that the rats carry humanity is because when the butchers have chopped them up and thrown them down into the sewers, have chopped the people up and thrown them down into the sewers. It's the rats that are feeding on the last remnants of life, and that's why
the rats
you find humanity on the rats, and that's why that they're growing to the size that they are. That's really cool.
That's clever. I like that. Yeah. That's quite clever. It's like seeing the rat for the first time was pretty panicky as well. Although I did go back later once we'd beaten the level. I think you'd gone back. I was kind of tarting around. I thought, I'm going to have a go at that rat. Because, I mean, if you've not seen this giant rat, this rat is maybe 10 feet, 20 feet tall.
He was in a bit of the promotional stuff for the game, actually.
Yeah. His mouth could eat you in one bite, easy.
There were a few people that were going like, "Oh, they must have scaled back the rats because look at that promo picture." Then they got down to the depths and just went, "Holy moly!"
So I went around. I kind of found my way through to the rat by going through that doorway you told me not to go down.
Uh-huh.
I thought, right, I'm going to go down there. I don't follow your rules. Went down there, kind of toddled through, you kind of end up on a little sort of ring of rock around the rat, sort of above it.
You sure that's not some sort of child's rhyme?
A ring of rock, yeah.
Ragged rat.
Ring of rock around the ragged rat. And I kind of went around the upside. He couldn't hit me from the top, so I kind of looked around at him, grabbed any items I could see at the top there. I thought, I wonder if I can arrow him from up here. So I kind of shot him with a few arrows, and it kind of did a bit of damage, and it wasn't really doing that much. I was like, right, okay. I know what I can do. Death from above. So got out me sword, hovered roughly over the rat, jumped off, boosh, one hit dead.
Outstanding.
And I was like, was that it?
You also find the spider shields up there as well.
Yes, I've got that. I've been kind of looking at that. I'm tempted to use it.
It's useful in Blighttown actually because you get there's a poison swamp in there, and you get lots of folks sort of trying to poison you with blow darts and shiz.
Oh, good.
So
that's
that works
great.
very nicely.
Oh God, I can't wait for that.
And also, if you did get the dragon tail axe,
which I did.
That when you pick it up, it sort of poisons you a little bit anyway, and that will help you in the swamp as well. So.
Well, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, when we were playing, we got invaded, didn't we?
We did.
The first invasion I've had in Dark Souls, and I don't know about you, but I found him rather rude.
I'm trying to think who it was, because you get an NPC invasion.
Yeah, this wasn't that one. This was a player by far. They invaded. We were kind of running around where you near the start of the level, I think, kind of quite near the beginning of it. We got invaded. We're like, poo. Ran round. We saw him. I think you went for the bow, and he just cut you down.
Oh yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah. You went for the bow, and he just went, "Nah, sod you," and he went, "Ugh!" And you were gone in like what, 2 seconds?
Yes,
I'm thinking,
he trolleyed me whilst I was doing that.
Yeah, but then when I fought him, it went on for ages. Like he was, I'm not sure if he was toying with me or not, because he was throwing like lightning at me. I don't think it was lightning spears, but it was like a lightning blast. It looked like.
Yeah.
And it was taking off a good kind of 70% of my health, but I was able to get away, chug an Estus, and have another go. And I got him down to like half health at one point. I'm not quite sure how I did it.
I was going to say, I was disappearing at that point and just just listening on Skype to you sort of fighting him. It was like a radio play
Yeah.
at that point.
Oh no, he's going left. Ah! But I was trying to kind of get around, and I was trying the jumping attack, which worked one time. I don't think people are ready for the jumping attack. And he managed to stay still long enough for it to connect. But he got wise after that, and it was after a short time. It was fairly evident that I wasn't going to win. So yeah, but that was unfortunate. But then that didn't happen again, which was good. Met one of the NPC invasions, as we say. Is it like Black Greg or something, or Dark Wind?
That's an even better version. I'm trying to think of his name now, but you get invasions from him a few times in the game. Actually,
He's got the spiky armor.
Yeah.
We'll call him Black Greg.
Black Greg's fantastic.
All right, I'm Greg.
It's Kirk is his name.
Kirk. There we go.
Yeah.
I knew it was short, and I knew the first letter and last letter were the same.
And you can eventually get that armor, and if you roll into someone, it actually does them damage.
Oh yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Basically, it's pretending to be one of those skeletons from Demon Souls.
Yeah, yeah. I've not actually used it for that, but it's in my current playthrough. It's on the 360 version. It's the first time I've actually sort of seen it to have it. So,
tasty. But yeah, then we actually met the dragon, didn't we? The boss.
The wonderfully entitled Gaping Vagina Dragon.
Yes. It's one of those things you think, gaping dragon? What does that mean? Oh, I see.
Because I love the build up to that. It could well be my my favourite little video before a battle, because you see the build up and you go, oh my god, look at the size of it. It's crawling out from underground. It's got that little
dragon,
head. It's got those massive hands.
Yeah.
And then it sort of doubles over and shows all those teeth and like roars. And allegedly, sort of its hunger has grown so great that its stomach has grown teeth and become a mouth in itself, and the creature's sort of evolved.
See, that's disgusting.
But brilliantly terrifying. I think it's a stunning piece of design as well.
Yeah, I think the reveal when it comes out. Yeah,
we've all seen sort of dragons in games and in films and stuff, but I can honestly say I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's unique and it's terrifying because it's unique.
Yeah.
I think the reveal was one of the best done things. Like you say, it's one of my favourite videos as well that I've seen so far, because it looks like kind of a big Komodo dragon at first.
Yeah,
kind of like a lizard kind of creep. You think, okay, it's a lizard. I can beat a lizard, and then it kind of stands up and its entire chest is made of teeth.
It's just a wonderful moment. I can tell you now, the first time I played that, I think, even though the fight started, part of me was still like, oh my god. And boss fights, generally, I think in games, a lot of the time, you can feel that you've seen everything from a boss fight, and you realise that if they're done really well, that you can engage the player even before they start fighting and sort of fire up and ignite their imagination before the battle begins, and that's a real trick. I mean, I might say at a push that Great Wolf Sif is one of the greatest boss battles ever. Not necessarily because of the battle itself, but just because of the spectacle.
Yeah.
Because it's just phenomenal and gets better in New Game Plus from the Prepare to Die edition.
Yeah. I'll have to try. Well, that's not going to be for a while, is it?
As if you're going to finish playing Dark Souls and then not go into New Game Plus.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, we trounced the Gaping Vagina Dragon quite nicely. Did we bring somebody else in, or did we bring Solaire into the battle?
And Solaire got eaten by the dragon.
Yes.
Which was absolutely hilarious. Just seeing this giant monster thing go slump, and then Solaire was gone.
There's a thing that I saw about Solaire the other day, and he was on the Wikipedia, that a lot of people actually think that Solaire is the god of war.
Oh.
Which is like, evening. Because the god of war is like the god of sunlight as well, or something like that. It was on the Wikipedia page, and when I found it, and I was like, that's interesting, and it ties into there was a bit with the development team. I might have mentioned this last time. There was a bit with the development team for Dark Souls 2, and they were working on the game, and they had 2 pieces of resource art by the side of their monitor.
Yeah.
And one was Lord Gwyn and one was Solaire. So a lot of people are wondering if Solaire is actually the firstborn that was cast out of Lordran, and he is the son of Gwyn. It's like, oh, come on. That's awesome.
Solaire, you beautiful man.
There's was it Epic Name Bro as well was saying that that there's a lot of people are really protective about Solaire because he was saying in this playthrough he's going to kill him to get his his sword and armor and stuff to test it out, and he says people are really protective about Solaire. He's like, how could you kill Solaire? Why did you do that? Why?
He's your friend.
Yeah. So, but people generally do seem to love the Sunlight Covenant anyway, which is fantastic.
Sun Bros.
But yeah, we beat the Gaping Vagina Dragon.
We did.
And then I kind of went on a secret mission, which you obviously know about now because we've sort of played a little bit further since. But I'd in the depths, I like helping people out. I like joining other people's games, and I find it a lot of fun to run through that level, show people where all the different bits and bobs are. And I started building up a cache of souls, and I thought, well, the next time I see Patrick, it will be to have a run into the catacombs, which we'd already mentioned. And I just thought, I'll build up the souls, and I'll give us an advantage. I'll show him just what the pyromancy glove can do when it's built up to plus 15. So I carried on helping people out, and then I was like, well, the other pyromancers in Blighttown Swamp, how many souls would I need to upgrade that one and get all the spells? And I thought, what, maybe about 200,000 souls? And then I thought, might need a bit more than that for the spells, because I remember on my first playthrough, I went through and I did loads of grinding sort of around that area, and then had to go back to get other stuff. So I ended up thinking that wrongly that I had to build up. I had to take the second pyromancy glove up to plus 15. It was a plus 5, but I ended up going down there with 500,000 souls as a little run into Blighttown, wondering if I'd get invaded as a human, and make my way down to Blighttown Swamp. And then I thought, well, I'll see Patrick next time, and I'll show him what it looks like, and hopefully I can give a bit more help this time. And then it was really funny when I joined you in that game, and we were in the catacombs. I was like, oh, I've got a few cool bits to show you this time, and you were like, oh, really? And then we got down to the boss, and you were like, what was that? You went up a good few octaves when I threw out the massive fireballs. And
I don't think I even saw what the boss looked like. It's like, right, boss. Oh wait, he's dead. Ah, what is it? Basically, the entire tomb that the guy was in pretty much caught fire.
Yep.
Like it was a firestorm.
I was laying down firestorm, a few of them, and then laid down a few of the massive fireballs, and I trolleyed his health. It has to be said. It
was quite hilariously entertaining.
But I was probably more powerful than I thought I'd be, because I think one of the fireballs took off about a quarter of his health. He
went down so fast. It was crazy.
It was funny. It was funny hearing you go up that many octaves. So, but yeah, again, if proof were needed, it shows you that you can do whatever you want really with the game. It just depends on what you want to explore, and obviously knowledge ties into quite a lot of it as well.
Sure.
That I know that pyromancer's down in the swamp there, so whereas I wouldn't have done that on my first playthrough, I could on this one because I knew about it. But if you're an inexperienced player and you're struggling, and you know somebody that's an enthusiast with it, you know they can help you out, or not just with information if you want in your own game, but with helping you and sort of joining and summoning in. So
yeah. I mean, it's been very handy. I mean, like the way you showed the shortcut down towards the boss, which was it's a series of jumping down very dark holes, landing on very small platforms.
I wasn't sure that had even come off. And I think there was a piece by Full Collar recently when he only found out about that recently. He didn't actually know about it.
Yeah.
About the blacksmith there. So so yeah, it's
that was pretty panicky, that entire bit of going down that large drop, because I remember doing that in Demon Souls in level 2-1, I think it was.
Or 2-1, yeah.
Yeah, and there's the kind of a big drop, and I always cocked up the last bit. And we're going down, I could see you kind of go down, I kind of see the shape of where you were, stood on nothing. I was like, right. You're like, land on me. I was like, okay, I'll land on you. And then, because I'd land on you, it would kind of push us apart a bit.
The advantage being in that situation that you could see me because I was glowing sort of massive orange.
Yes.
But ordinarily, that's quite the...
It's a jump into nothing.
Well, it's not a jump; it's a drop. And I was tempted to jump, and I thought, I'm sure I've jumped here before, and I've just gone into nothingness.
Yeah. I think we had at least one or two more of those incredible drops where you land literally on the edge of a thing. One more pixel further in, you would have fell.
Yeah. But that's what made... Because I'd say that when we went through the depths, we had sort of a good giggle, but it was fairly sort of standard runabout for us. But when we went into the catacombs, everything was just like... There was lots of silence on Skype.
Yep.
We were jumping in and trolleying people, but there was a fair amount of silence there.
Of concentration and right, that's one there, there's one there. We can take yes!
Yes.
Lots of silence with loud yeah at the end of it. Well, I actually went back after you left to that level. I tried to go the normal way. So not falling down the magical dark staircase of horror.
That's what I'm doing currently.
Yeah, I tried to go through the normal way. I met the headless Titanite demon. 5 times. I saw him. I thought, well, he's clearly going to wake up because I remember the last one. I thought he's clearly going to wake up. So I kind of tried to prep a bit, ran in. He trolleyed me like amazingly quickly. But I did get past him and get the item behind him. I never beat him. I was close, but I didn't beat him. I was like, screw this. It's not worth it. I've lost enough souls to this man. Fuck it, I'll go back later. So then I carried on going through sort of the normal way. And there's a couple of really tricky bits in that level where skeletons start coming up ladders at you.
Yeah.
And archers start just taking the piss.
I think because in the catacombs there's so much which is barely lit and is sort of inside. When you do get outside, you can be fooled a little bit by thinking that you're in the clear. And there's a stretch where the ground curves around outside, and the skeletons blend into the rockery quite well.
Yeah.
And you can walk around the corner, and there'll be 5 of them that will just instantly run at you, and you're like, well what?
They
Why?
got me a couple of times. They actually got me a couple of times.
Well, hilariously, with some of the souls that I built up, whilst we've been talking, I sort of thought, I'll trolley back into my game of the tombs because I jumped into yours.
Yeah.
And I'll fanny around, and I've lost 43 humanity and about 350,000 souls. Lost them for good, my friend. Lost for good.
The terrifying horror. That hurts.
Completely gone.
I also met Sauron
Mm-hmm.
inside there. There's a bit where you drop through a couple of holes with skeletons.
Yeah.
I dropped in and I kind of avoided the first one, idioted down the second one, and then, Sauron turned up from nowhere and slew me in moments. And then, again, they drop you and they just walk away like you ain't nothing.
Oh, I know that I'm not really a Lord of the Rings fan, so I was trying to process what you were.
Freaking Sauron the Black.
Yeah,
I did get rid of the Black Knight in the Undead Burg. I went back and thought, right, I'm having you, sunshine. And he was really easy this time.
Yeah.
Like he went down. I was going to try and draw him out and do my trick of. I was going to try and drop on his head. But it turned out my backstab took off half his health. I was like, oh, sweet. I'll just fight him normally then.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Sauron that I met in the catacombs, no.
There's one that I remember in our game, that if you go in with that side entrance with the blacksmith that you uncover.
Yep.
The Black Knight will actually drop down to try and get you.
Oh.
And he came into our game, and I was like, "What the?" through me.
Run.
Yep.
I like how tenacious they are. They will follow you the entire level. They will not let up. They will follow you. Even if you try and run all the way back, they will still be behind you. Absolute bastards.
And then treat you with complete and utter apathy in the thereafter.
Yep, they'll follow you like a Terminator, slay you, and then go back to where they were standing for the next time.
I think you've renamed them the Terminator Knights. That works very well.
I also was just toddling around the Undead Burg again, as you do, and I met the Black Knight that stands on top of a castle, a tower. There's a spiral staircase up.
Yeah, he's a beast. I've seen him trolley a few people.
I met him this week as well. Absolutely pooed myself.
In the Matt Nellis No Pants Man playthrough.
Yeah.
And they went to him and they tried to get away from him and go down the stairs, and he caught the neck of their character, flicked his sword up so they went in the air, and then did a massive swing of the sword, and then obviously was just like, oh, I wonder what's on TV tonight. Shall I have fish finger sandwich? You know, he was just complete apathy after he'd just done these complete death moves.
Did I leave the iron on?
Yes, it was that all over.
Absolute git. But yeah, apart from I've not made it through the depths, the catacombs, on my own yet. I kind of got trolleyed by Sauron and was like, nope, sod this, put it down, and went and did something more fun. But I'm going to have a go at either the Tomb of Giants, which is the bit where we stopped after the catacombs. Am I correct?
I think we'll go together through Tomb of the Giants because I want to see you go through Tomb of the Giants.
Or there's also Blighttown as well, isn't there? That's I've got the key for now.
Yes.
Which I don't know. I'm tempted to try one of them on my own, just to see how badly it goes.
Oh, I'd like to see you try Tomb of the Giants first on your own.
Tomb of the Giants will be the next stop then,
because it is just terrifying.
Tomb of
the Giants was the thing that made me stop playing.
Yeah. You said as much while we were playing, actually.
So the Tomb of the Giants properly terrified me.
Oh, goody! Just what I need.
It wasn't necessarily sort of. It is a terrifying level in of itself, but I finally got beyond the bit that I was struggling with. Got after it, and whereas the catacombs you need a divine weapon. A Tomb of the Giants you don't, but when you get to the final boss, the skeletons that surround him adhere to the same rules as those in Tomb of the Giants. Sorry, in the catacombs.
Yeah.
So I couldn't put any of the skeletons that surround him down. So I was like, oh Christ! So I just stood there panicking, and I'd been through so much, like the skeletal babies, just horrible, that come up out of the water.
Oh, right.
Skeletal children, and you can't actually hit them properly. you have to lull them to higher ground, and then sort of.
I suppose your sword's too high for them.
Yeah. But they're creepiest, literally like baby skeletons. Not even in a comical way. They're just horrific.
Kind of like those babies from Silent Hill.
I can't.
Play Silent Hill 1. The very first tutorial bit of that, you run through, and then these kind of
I remember
baby monsters come and eat your legs. It's like,
this smaller than that. They're literally like sort of newborn baby skeletons. They're just horrible. But originally, I just had to put the game down because I'd been through so much to get to that. It just felt like I'd been on this long journey, and I genuinely needed to heal my bones. I needed to build up the strength and the wherewithal, even mentally, to go back to it. And it's not that tough a boss battle thereafter. It's just that everything that led up to it, and Tomb of the Giants is just. I've mentioned before that it's incredibly dark. The creatures that come at you are incredibly tall and incredibly wide. You get these massive bone dog things and skeletons that are probably a little bit bigger than the ones that we saw before we entered the catacombs.
Yeah.
And you can barely see your hand in front of your face.
Oh, goody.
You get a lantern, which allows you to see a little bit more, but when you're doing that, you're holding the lantern in your left hand and you're swapping it out for a shield. So if you see something in the distance, as you're walking very, very slowly, you have to swap the lantern out for a shield, reducing your darkness down by 2/3, and then go onwards. And all the platforms are really small as well.
Oh, even better.
So it's a bit squeaky bum time. And whilst there's a couple of things that you can get to help that out, there's a miracle which cast sunlight, I think it is, which will brighten things up. And there's a helm that you can get a little bit further on in the game. I didn't know about the miracle, and I don't think I'd been to the level where I get the helm. So it was just like it was terrifying, but I wouldn't take the memory away, because the memory of going through that was just I barely breathed. I must have had some sort of newborn game gills. As this secondary breathing, which was a quarter less than regular breathing. But if I remember rightly, when we went into the catacombs, you liked the look of the boss.
Yeah, I like the look of it, definitely.
Even if I trolled him, probably.
I saw a bit of him. Yeah, he looked like kind of cool, like a kind of cloaky looking thing.
Because he was like the fool's idol.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was ready for. Well, I was building it up, wasn't I? As we were getting closer, I was like, this is the same sort of rules as the boss of 3-1 in Demon's Souls.
Find the real one.
Yeah.
Are you playing a game of Monster Find the Lady?
Yeah. And this one didn't really get a chance to do a lot before.
No.
It's encased in fire. Fire. Da-da-da. Fire.
Do.
So yeah.
Yeah. So what's our next time? Next time will be Tomb of the Giants then.
Yeah, well, I'm near
next
to
stop.
there now.
Cool. I'm gonna have to run back because I think I got stuck at the start of the catacombs again by trying to be clever.
Well, I'll do the boss then, and we'll speak when you get there.
Radical. Okay. Well, that was Dark Souls Podcast 5. What are we calling this one? Crap.
No, don't call it crap. That might. I don't think anybody's watched the last one. So
let's not call it crap then.
This one is crap. Maybe kids don't know about margarine these days.
Yeah.
Like butter.
So is this one bro butter?
Yeah, bro butter, no problems.
There we go. Done it. I like it. Bro butter, no problems. We'll see you again next week. I was Paddy, he was Coffee. We didn't actually say that at the start this time.
No, I'm CJ. Hello, that's Mr. Stardust. Hello,
and goodbye. Roll credits.